Hey guys, welcome to Modern Crafting. This week we are going to be making etched mirrors. You can see the etching down here at the bottom. All right, so this is the mountain scene. I packed in your kits a few different styles. There was the mountain and I believe the birds. I think there was three, the bird and then the bees. I'm gonna be doing the bees today. So I'm gonna set this out of the way. This is actually really easy. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is clean your glass in case it has any smudges on it. You can use, I'm using Simple Green. You can use a glass cleaner like Windex, or if you don't have any of that, you can use rubbing alcohol and just wipe it. You're basically getting any dirt, any grime, any oils from your fingers off of it. So spray it down. And again, as usual, you're going to want to have something down covering your surface, your table, to protect it, because we are going to be using glass etching cream, which is an acid. That looks pretty clean. Okay. So you can do this if you want to do it across the top or across the bottom. I did my mountains across the bottom because they had a flat edge on them. I thought that would look best. For the mountain scene, I need scissors. Oh, they're there. Okay, so I'm going to cut these apart. And I don't want to cut it really close because I want to leave a little bit of a border around. So I'll just cut kind of right down the middle. Okay. I'm not going to use the birds. I'm going to use the bumblebee. And I think I might just do that right. I think I like it across the top. So what I'm going to do, actually I'm going to turn that way. Okay, so what you want to do here is you want to peel off, if you can get a hold of it, this back. See where it's got the grid on it, the lines. You're going to peel off this white backing. And sometimes it's tricky to get a hold of, or I guess it's a white backing here, but then it's blue on the inside, as you can see. So touch this as little as possible so you don't lose any stickiness. And we're just gonna carefully peel. Now, when you get to the bumblebee, this is coming up and I don't want it to. So what I might do is put it back down and press really hard like this so that it actually sticks to this clear surface and not this backing. That's called burnishing. It worked with some of them. Okay. There we go. Oh, there's one more. So just take like the back of a spoon or something hard and just rub or push down. See, now it's staying, but I've got some pieces that are coming up that I haven't done yet. Okay, I got most of it. You can take a credit card, a debit card, any type of hard card like that. There we go. And just rub it so that this is sticking to the clear front and not the blue side. Okay, there we go. So when this comes off, this should be completely clean, and you don't want to peel it all the way off and go, oh no, there's pieces stuck, because lining them back up is a pain to get them exact. So as it's coming up, if you see this white sticky part not letting go of the blue, put it back down, rub it with like a credit card or a gift card or something like that, or spoon or a paintbrush, something hard, rub it down so that it's sticking to the clear. Okay, now we don't need this. Once this sticks, it's difficult to get up, so I recommend that you try and get it on the first try. So this is just slightly smaller. It goes almost to the edge. So I'm just going to try and make sure that nothing is hanging off the edge, and just go straight down. Push in the center first, and then you're gonna go out from there. You wanna try not to get any wrinkles. If you do get a wrinkle, you can try and carefully peel it up, but this stuff is super sticky. And then you kind of get your wrinkles out and go on. Oh, yeah, see, you don't want to rip it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is what it's gonna look like. And at this point, all you're going to do is peel off this clear coating on the top. Like so. So just grab that, and it's pretty sticky, so just take it nice and slow, no need to rush. And you're gonna wanna make sure that everything is sticking to the glass and not coming up with this clear coat. You can kind of go back and forth like this. All right. Take your time, you don't wanna rip anything. Okay, that's called transfer paper. That enabled us to transfer this onto the surface that we want to etch. So here is what my mirror looks like now. So this is my stencil. Had we done this in class, we would have done this a little different because I've got a pile of stencils, but way to get creative with our quarantine. So this is how we're doing it. And it doesn't really matter if you have air bubbles in here because we're literally just going to etch where you can see the glass. Okay, so you each got a little vial of glass etching cream, and you really don't need much. It goes a long way. You can take a paintbrush, and you're just gonna apply this. Here, let me tilt this so you can see it. You're just going to paint this. Everywhere where you can see the glass. Wherever I put this, it's going to, the acid is going to eat away the top layer of the glass, and so it's going to, instead of being like a nice shiny clear, it's going to be that kind of frosted look. What I would recommend, instead of just doing it one direction, I would go back and forth. I would go this way. Try and keep it, you know, so you don't run out. Try and keep it in the glass area, but really make sure that it's on there. Sometimes this has some kind of crystallized chunks in it, so you want to make sure that you're kind of brushing it out to making sure that all of the actual, it's not really liquid, paste, gel, whatever you call it, is coming in contact with the mirror. Because if there's like a little crystallized chunk that's sitting on it, it's not going to etch under that spot potentially, and then you're going to end up with a spot that didn't get etched. And I'm going to make sure I don't miss any of these details in here. Okay, I'm just going to continue all the way across. Once you get this fully applied, you're going to leave it sit for about 5 minutes. Sometimes I leave it for 10 just because I'm always like, oh, what if it's not long enough? And I don't, you know, once you peel this white off, it would be difficult to get it back onto the exact same spot. So I might leave it for 10. It doesn't hurt to leave it for 10 minutes. Also, something I forgot to do, you might want to wear a glove on the hand that isn't holding the paintbrush. This is a pretty big surface, and so you can pretty much do this without getting it near your hand. Like when we're doing small plates or glasses or like little ornaments, I highly recommend wearing gloves because your hands, there's smaller surface space, and so your hands are more at risk in getting this on them. But it's always a good idea to wear your gloves. Okay. And if any of this were to get on your skin, just stop what you're doing and go wash your hands right away. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure I didn't miss any little spots, and that's completely covered. Go back over it like so. Then you can just look at the clock or set a timer and wait for 5 minutes. And go rinse this out while you're waiting. Put your lid back on your etching cream so it doesn't get spilled. Actually, what I would do, if you have some left over, you could always do another glass project. So scrape this back in, like so, The stuff is, it's like $22 a bottle, so it is really, or 30 at Michael's actually. So it ranges between $20 and $30 a bottle for this size. So it is really expensive, but it goes really far. And I always try and scrape as much back in as I possibly can, just because it's still usable once it's been spread out on here. Okay, so I'll go wash my paintbrush and I'll come back in 5 minutes and then we'll rinse this off and see how it turned out. All right, it's been 5 minutes. I washed out my paintbrush and now we are going to take this off, and actually I'm gonna grab my paintbrush because any of this I can save. I will try to do so. So I will just see, I didn't put it on super thick, so I might not be able to save much, but I always try and scrape any that's left that isn't dried on here back in, just because you can reuse this once it's been on here. Okay, there's not really much to save. So, put that over there. Now, ideally, what I would recommend is you take this to a sink and just run it under water too. And then with a gloved hand, just rub the etching cream off while it runs under water. But I do not have a sink in here, so I am just going to do this and use this sponge. And I'm just getting all of the extra etching cream off of here, like so. So basically your goal is to just get it off. All right, that looks pretty good. I think I got it all. Yep. Okay, get rid of my water. And so now that there's no etching cream, I don't need a glove. So right now, it looks okay, a little foggy, a little gross because it needs to be washed. So I'm gonna give it a wash. Okay. And then as it dries, that's when you're really gonna see the frosted look coming out. Okay. So now you can see, can I tilt it? There you go. You just glad etched. So very cool. Had fun with this. Send me your photos. I want to see how they turned out. And have a great week. Bye.